Why the heck do so many people buy Honda CR-Vs? And I'm not talking 50 or 100,000. Last year in the US alone, Honda sold over 400,000 CR-Vs. 400,000! It's unbelievable. So in this video, we're taking a drive in the refreshed 2026 Honda CR-V, and we're gonna find out why is this thing so popular. Now, if you want to check out another video surrounding the new 26 CR-V, check out alltfl.com, because producer Zach and I had a chance to do our first drive of the new Trail Sport, which is the off-roady trim, and that's going to be over on the TFL Car YouTube channel. But today, I want to talk about this version of the CR-V. Now, this is the CR-V Hybrid, the most popular version of the CR-V. Over 50% of new CR-Vs are the hybrids, and this one is the Sport Touring. So we're going to take this thing on the road and figure out what makes them so attractive. Now for 2026, the car has received some changes. So the standard CR-V gasoline version has gained a couple horsepower, about 9 pound-feet of torque, and the CR-V hybrid version has some changes on the inside and with some drive modes, which we'll talk about in a second. Now visually, I really like this Stormtrooper appearance on the Sport Touring. So if we come around to the front, I like that Honda's really toned down the old school chrome look. So it's not totally gone. Of course, on the large and in charge Honda emblem, you still have some bright work. But my favorite part about the CR-V design are these lower front quote unquote intakes. Now I do believe they are mostly just there for appearance, but I like how they're in these kind of dull chrome surrounds that give it a very kind of purposeful, almost sporty look without looking like a 1970s Cadillac.
I think silver.
Silver, not dull chrome. Thanks, Zach. This is Zach's going to be helping me out today's video because I'm a little frazzled from 9 hours of driving or something. But let's check out the wheel and tire package here. So a polished black look here, 235/55 tire. This is actually good tire. I'm glad that Honda's using a Michelin from the factory, and then it's wrapped around a 19-inch wheel there. Now, this is not going to be, of course, the off-road version. You'd want the Continental tires that you see on those Trail Sports if you want to hit the trail, but for everyday cruising around in the city, highway use, maybe some light snow, this tire should be able to do all that. Now, coming along the side of the car, that Stormtrooper look continues with the polished black mirror caps, the black window surround, the bright black fixtures there on the roof for the roof rails. And then as we make our way to the very back of the car, you can see Sport Touring there along the right side of the liftgate, CR-V Hybrid along the left side. And then tailpipes are interesting. This one is totally fake, so I was gonna give them heck about it, but the right one actually partially functional. So credit to Honda for doing that. Now as we pop open the power liftgate, of course Sport Touring is going to be near the top of the CR-V lineup. We got all of our bags in here, but lots of space back here, well over 30 cubic feet worth of space. And then if I go ahead and grab this little handle here, fold down the back seats, that's going to be over 75 cubic feet worth of space. Zach's going to demonstrate. They both go down. One issue I do have though is it's not a flat load floor, hardly at all. It's got a really big hump here, so if you want to do some car camping, that's going to be a little bit unfortunate. But Zach, why don't you show them the back seat here?
Yeah.
Because that's one of the most impressive parts about this car. Now let me adjust the front seat to kind of how I would sit from my normal riding position. I am 6 feet tall. That's a little too far back for someone of my height. Okay, that's about right. So let's see how much space we have behind myself. A ton. So much space. This is my favorite part about this 26 CR-V, is the rear seat room is absurd. I mean, look, it's like limousine levels of rear seat room back here. Now, it does have a fairly small sunroof, so if you're looking for a full pano, we don't have it in this car, but headroom is actually okay. And if I pull this lever, also got some recline, yo. So if you want to go cruising in your CR-V, that's definitely an option. All right, time for the front seat. Now this Sport Touring trim has something quite nice. I really like these seats. So this is a two-tone look with the dark outers, that lighter gray inner, and then this also has this kind of funky orange stitching along the bolstering and across the center console there. You find that throughout on the shift boot. You find it here on the leather wrapped steering wheel. It's all very, very nice. And as we hop on in here, Zach, let's go and fire this baby into life. Foot on the brake, we're going to turn that audio system off, the Bose audio system. So a couple of things worth noting in here. Take a look at that driver instrument cluster here on CR-Vs now for 26. We're going to find this across the board. So we've got our full digital cluster, very configurable. I can check out the power flow. I can check out some of the fuel economy stats, navigation, and then same thing on the left side here. I got some more controls, including Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, Android Auto. All that's going to be over there. The only thing I don't like about this particular trim is kind of this piano black, especially piano black over here by the door handle. Seems like a great way to get that scuffed very, very quickly. So I prefer kind of a different material up there on the door, but seats are very comfortable. And I think that this car is just the right size. That's part of the reason that this sells so many units, is it's very usable. If you're a solo person, it's not too big. If you have a family, you can really fit a lot of stuff and people in the back seat. It just makes a lot of sense. Now this technology here, this has got the Google built in. Hey Google, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. It's Pride Month, so I'm celebrating by sharing stories from the community, like this one.
Heck yeah, that's great. Unfortunately, I don't have time for your story, but look, 9-inch screen now. They got rid of the 7-inch screen in the CR-V with the Google built in. So right now we've got our Google Maps going. This is a brand new car. It's got 70 miles on it, so it hasn't been fully set up yet, but I like the Google Maps setup in here. Because of course it knows traffic information and it'll help you get the right way where you're trying to go. This is very Civic. This new, I guess it's not new for this model year, but this kind of honeycomb fixture across the dashboard. There's that Bose audio system Zach's zooming in on. I really like the steering wheel in these cars too. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, dual zone automatic climate control, sport touring. This is an expensive car. We're talking over $43,000 as tested, but it does have pretty much everything you'd expect in your compact crossover. All right, Zach's all buckled up, shifting it into drive with the physical shifter. No buttons or little doodads in this thing. And we're gonna take it for a ride here outside of Carlsbad, California. Let's see what's up. Now we got to talk about this powertrain. So 204 horsepower, right, Zach?
Yep.
247 pound-feet of torque. And this is an interesting powertrain. This uses a 181 horsepower, 2-liter 4-cylinder combined with 2 electric motors. And technically it's an ECVT, but when you hear ECVT, a lot of people think, oh, belt and cone, it's going to blow up like my 2008 Sentra did in about 400 miles. But this is not a belt and a cone ECVT. The way this works is really cool. This is a dual motor setup. So one motor is a starter and a generator. It's for starting the engine and it's for producing electricity. The other motor is a traction motor. And what that means is that as I cruise along here out of this resort area, the car is running on electricity and gasoline. But what I mean is it's being driven by electricity because the gasoline engine rarely drives the wheels directly. Instead, just like the Chevrolet Volt, the gasoline engine acts as a generator. So here, let me see if I can scroll down. It's going to be up, isn't it? There we go. So you can see what's going on here is the gasoline engine is powering the battery, it's charging up the battery, and then the battery is what's in charge of powering the wheels as we drive along. So kind of a funky system. Now, it is capable of using a clutch to connect direct to the wheels. And it would do that if we were on a highway, kind of steady state cruising, 55, 60 miles an hour, light throttle, because at those speeds, it's less efficient to charge the battery and then power the motor. It makes sense just to go right from the engine direct to the wheel. So under certain instances, it can go and operate as a direct drive, but under most instances, this car operates as an electric car with a gas generator. Pretty cool stuff. And it just makes sense to get the hybrid. The fuel economy numbers are greater than the gasoline ones. Zach, do you remember off the top of your head the fuel economy on this thing?
I don't right offhand. Let me find that real quick.
That's okay. I can also font it too. But that's kind of one of the benefits of the system is like you don't lose any reliability with this dual motor setup, but you gain power and you gain efficiency. And then of course there's also going to be a slight bump in cost, but I'm going to dial this thing up into the sport mode and then full throttle, make sure it's not a cop. No, we're good. Okay, there's the speed limit, 40 miles an hour. Actually pretty quick off the line, and you can hear that simulated shifting.
An EPA estimated fuel economy is 37 for all-wheel drive models and up to 40 for front-wheel drive hybrids.
Thanks, dude. So 37 for all-wheel drive, up to 40 for front-wheel drive. Now, in the past, it's been interesting because you couldn't get the RAV4 hybrid in front-wheel drive, but under the new trim line, the new generation, I should say, you can. So this car's got some really stiff competition from the Toyota. Now I will say, this car's more fun to drive than the Toyota. The Toyota's always felt just a little bit numb to me. This car's got more of a direct feeling. I really like the steering weight and the steering feel. It's not a sports car, but you do have a nice kind of quick steering rack, which gives it a very precise feel out on the road. Suspension's a little soft, but I just think it's more dynamic and less mushy is the word I'm going to choose to describe the Honda to Toyota. The Toyota drives great, but it feels a little numb. This car is a little bit more engaging. The interior is a little dark across the lineup. Like, I would love more color and kind of contrast from the CR-V interior. Let's do a quick turning radius check. Oh, like a glove. Back on the throttle. It is weird hearing that quote-unquote transmission shift when it's just simulating shifts, but it doesn't have to do that. Kind of an odd situation, but very quiet, refined interior, comfortable seats, pretty good driver assistance, Honda Sensing, right? We got blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, pretty much everything. Lane centering in this thing, anything you'd want for driver assistance. Yeah, it does. It makes sense now why they sell 400,000 of these, because it does pretty much everything on the money. Now, a couple other changes for the 26 model year, right down here, the individual mode. So, if I go into the individual mode, I can actually configure powertrain, steering, and engine sound, sport engine sound, but maybe I want normal gauges. But then, of course, we want the powerful powertrain, so you can kind of dial in how you want your CR-V to behave, which is kind of cool, right? I'm glad that they added that for 26 on the Sport Touring trim. And then, of course, the Trail Sport is also new for this model year. But, like, look, my conclusion to this is this car just does everything well, right? It's not the most dynamic thing. It's not going to be the best off-road. It's not the flashiest car. But this is just the long-lived, dependable car with good resale value. That's what most people want out of a car. And as a bonus, it's got a little bit more character, I think, than the RAV4. Now, I haven't driven the new RAV4. That one might be a whole other beast, especially the Woodland and the GR Sport looks really cool. But the standard CR-V with the hybrid system, pretty ace. Folks, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. This has been Tommy, behind the camera, Zach. And we'll see you next time. Head over to alltfl.com where you can watch our Trail Sport review. It's live right now.